And we have a start in the first event of 5 of the National Selection Regatta 2. This is the men's single. It'll be followed by the women's single final A, the men's quad, the men's lightweight double, and then the women's double final B. But underway right now is the men's single. In lane 1, closest to the camera, is Jamison Harper. Lane 2 is James Dietz. Lane 3 is Lenny Futterman. Lane 4 is William Cowles. Lane 5 is Lucas Wilhelm. And lane 6 is Eric Hanlichsten. We're picking them up at about the 250 meter mark. And right now from CRI is Lucas Wilhelm, who is out in front by, as you can see, about a half a boat over 3 other competitors. Very early going in the race. James Dietz in the also red top and yellow boat in lane 2 is moving up a bit. As is William Cowles. You can see him in the yellow boat, and the light green top as they pass the 500 meter mark. Is still Lucas Wilhelm out in front, but now he's being challenged by William Cowles. And you can see on the outside, Eric Hanlichsten is also challenging. But still out in front, it is Lucas Wilhelm, as they are about halfway between the 500 and 750 meter mark, so 650 meters into this race. That's Jamison Harper in the white top and white boat. James Dietz next to him. Lenny Futterman in the red top also. But again, out front is Lucas Wilhelm, and he is being challenged by William Cowles. These two boats sort of locked in and getting tighter. This race is tightening up as they're through the 750 meter mark, getting closer to the 1,000. As the bows go through the buoy lines, that's a good indicator, and it looks like William Cowles is now taking the lead away from Lucas Wilhelm. We'll see if Mr. Wilhelm has a response to this. And those two, as you can see, have really separated themselves from the rest of the field. James Dietz and Lenny Futterman there. And Mr. Hanlichsten on the far side. Those three are all within a boat of each other as they go through the 1,000 meter mark. But now it is Mr. Cowles from Craftsbury, who looks like he has broken open water on the field. Mr. Cowles now, as you can see, almost a boat of open water on his nearest competitor, and continues to just keep moving. 500 meters to go and open water. Everybody else strung out behind him. Doing a great job here. We're going to go to the finish tower. And this is the view from the finish tower. As the 6 competitors are all within 500 meters to go. All these competitors competed in a time trial earlier in the week, and that placed them in lanes, and you can see it's followed suit. And we're going to focus in on our leader here. See the ratings come up, less than 250 meters to go. And he continues to open up water on the rest of the field. As the women's single is underway, and lane 1 from Craftsbury, Elizabeth Sunshine. Lane 2 from Princeton Training Center, Kelly Pierce. From Cambridge Boat Club in lane 3, Jevy Stone. Lane 4 from Princeton Training Center is Emily Hulskamp. Lane 5 from Craftsbury is Margaret Fellows. And lane 6 from Y Quad Cities is Elizabeth Sherris. And out in front is Jevy Stone, an Olympian and 5-time national team member. There's a lot of experience in this race. And that was Emily Hulskamp, and she is a U23 member, 1-time national team member. Kelly Pierce right in front of us. And in lane 1 here we see Elizabeth Sunshine. On the far side in the red is Elizabeth Sherris. And those of you who follow junior rowing, she's 3-time junior national team member, and last year was competing at the Youth National Championships, winning gold medals there. But out in front, we have Jevy Stone. And then followed by Emily Holzkamp. And then it's, as you can see, about 2 boats of open water back to Kelly Pierce, Elizabeth Sherris, Margaret Fellows, and Elizabeth Sunshine. So through the 1,000 meters, those 4 all roughly within a boat length. Kelly Pierce in the middle there. I'm sorry, that's Emily in the middle. And then Jevy Stone out in front by, seems to be ever increasing margins. So 750 meters to go for these 4 who are in a tight race. But way out in front is Jevy Stone in the light blue top. With Emily Holzkamp in second place. Everybody has less than 500 meters to go in the women's single. Jevy Stone, Emily off to her left and on the left side of the screen here, second place. Emily was in the women's 4 in 2013, made the transition to sculling. Jevy Stone has been a sculler for quite some time. In this race, we actually have 2 daughters of 2 very impressive rowers, former national team members. Both Ms. Stone and Ms. Sherris, their fathers were impressive in their own right, in their own day. We're starting to see some mother-daughter combinations too, but today in the women's single, we have two very successful daughters from 2 very successful fathers. You see this margin continues to grow as we're about 200 meters to go before the finish of the women's single. Jevy across the line. Ms. Holzkamp. 2 Craftsbury rowers are going to be tight, but it's going to go to Elizabeth Sunshine, lane 1, Margaret Fellows, Kelly Pierce, and then Elizabeth Sherris. Next up is the men's quad, 2 boats in this event, and we'll get to that as soon as we can. Picking up the men's quad race between the 250 and 500 meter mark. Closest to the camera is California Rowing Club, and in that boat is Paul Marcy, Ryan Sheldon, John Madura, and Hans Struzna. On the far side, in the white boat, is Craftsbury, Thomas Graves, Peter Graves, John Graves, and Benjamin Dan. Between these two boats, there's a lot of experience. In the Craftsbury boat on the far side, there's about a dozen years between them of national team experience. In the boat closest to us, Hans Struzna in the stroke seat is a five-time national team member and IRA champ. And John Madura is a U23 rower in 2012. So just a lot of experience among these boats. In the time trial, Craftsbury won by a good margin, but that was the time trial. This is head-to-head. And right now it is head-to-head. These two boats are extremely close to each other. As the boats go through the buoy lines, it's a good indication of their margins. And as you can see, California Rowing Club taking a little bit of push right before the 1,000-meter mark. They're going through the 1,000-meter mark right now, and they have about a deck length. See if Craftsbury has a response. California Rowing Club is not moving any further at this point. Craftsbury is holding them to that little bit of push that they had. May take that back a little bit. California Rowing Club, with every stroke, seems to get just a teeny little bit. Oh, it's just back and forth here. But California Rowing Club with about a deck length over Craftsbury. And now a little bit more than a deck length with 750 meters to go in this race. Craftsbury at this point is just slightly off the pace, and with every stroke, California Rowing Club just gets a little bit more, but there is still a lot more to go in this race. About 550 meters left. Here's a shot from the finish tower. California Rowing Club on the right, Craftsbury on the left, and California Rowing Club definitely with the advantage here. Now a little more than a boat length on Craftsbury. And California Rowing Club moving out even further in the last 500 meters. And coming to the line, it is California Rowing Club with half, 3/4 of a boat length of open water over Craftsbury. Next up will be the men's lightweight double, and we'll bring that to you as soon as we can. Men's lightweight double is up next. men's lightweight double is underway. In lane 1, closest to the camera launch, from Craftsbury is Hugh McAdam and Matt O'Leary. Mr. McAdam is a 2013 World Cup participant, and Matt O'Leary is two-time national teamer, U23 and senior, and sculled and swept. In lane 2, in the light blue tops and yellow boat, is Andrew Campbell, and he's been on 9 national teams, and he's not that old, junior, U23, and senior national teams. His partner is Joshua, and Kinesi has been on 2 national teams, a U23 and a senior team. On the far side, in the Malta boat, just out of view to the left or to the right, is Colin Etheridge, and he was on the senior team in 2013 in the quad, lightweight quad. And then Austin Meyer, who's been on 7 national teams, junior, U23, and senior, both sculling and sweep. Out in front is Cambridge with Campbell and Konechny. On the far side, you can see Etheridge and Meyer. And then closest to the camera, you just see their bow is Hugh McAdam and Matt O'Leary. So 3 boats, Cambridge out in front pretty clearly. The other 2 very competitive, but have to give it to Malta CBC on the outside with Etheridge and Meyer. Hugh McAdam in the light green, Matt O'Leary in the dark top in the boat we just saw. And out in front is the Cambridge boat. The other 2 boats are composite boats, but this is the Cambridge boat out in front. As they get close to the 1,000-meter mark, they have at least a boat of open water on the field. Okay, that's 2 or 3 boats of open water on the field. The Malta CBC boat, Etheridge and Meyer on the far side in second place. And just see their bow. There they are. Hugh McAdam and Matt O'Leary in third by about a half a boat. The race for second place is tightening up with 750 meters to go. Second place at this event is a race for pride. But what a good race. They were spread out a little while ago, tightening up. The Malta CBC boat making a little bit of a move right before the 500 to go mark. As you can see from the finish tower, Cambridge has this wrapped up, barring any unforeseen circumstances, but they have many lengths of open water on the field. Andrew Campbell certainly being the star of the lightweight rowing world in the United States right now. Gold medals at the U23s. If I'm not mistaken, at the Senior Worlds he actually had a world record time that lasted for, well, a matter of minutes until somebody else broke it. But these two are very impressive. And across the line. The other two boats, with just a couple strokes to go, they'll come into view right about now. There they are, coming to the line. Oh, look at this. Wow. Next up is going to be the women's single B final. There are two rowers in this event, and that will be the last event of the morning. Women's single B final coming up next. seems we have one participant in this race. And from SoCal Scullers, it's Kat Shiro. There were supposed to be two competitors in this race, but just one is participating. And so she will row the course by herself, and we'll follow her down. Kat Shiro doing a solo piece down the course here at Mercer County Park. This event is taking place at the Casperson Rowing Center here in West Windsor, New Jersey. We'll have more events being broadcast from this venue: Pan Am trials, national team selection trials, our World Championship trials, both junior, para, under 23, and senior. U.S. Rowing will also be broadcasting the IRAs from here. It's a busy venue. The next event we'll be broadcasting from here is actually the Pan Am trials in a little less than a week. So this is the last event, Women's B final. From SoCal Scullers is Kat Shiro. Passing through the 1,000-meter mark. Tough to race by yourself. So this is the second time trial she's done. They had to participate in a time trial at the beginning of this competition, and she's essentially doing another one by herself right now. Just less than 750 meters to go for Miss Shiro. Nice shot there of her rowing. Coming up on the 500-meter mark. Through the 500-meter mark. Kat Shiro rowing by herself on this course, Doing a nice job, taking this piece very seriously. I'm sure we'll start to see her rating come up in just a little bit as she pushes home with about 400 meters to go. There she is from the finish tower. Just a couple strokes from the line. And Cat Sharrow is across. And that concludes the racing for today here at the Casperson Rowing Center in Mercer County Park. Thanks for joining us.